Ever since the plague and the change of the government, this town has been unbearable, lifeless, filled only with boredom, propaganda, and control. I've tried to escape, and I've failed this time. But I'll find a way. They call me Mr. Prepper.
And they call me FinFalls. Hey guys, this is me, here to show you guys an early access look, or quick look kind of a new game that's supposed to be coming out called Mr. Prepper. Now from the intro there, you can see Mr. Prepper is supposed to be, it's about building a bunker because there's an evil government and you want to escape. To me, that's not what a prepper does. A prepper is preparing to hunker down with their bunkers, not necessarily use them to escape, as we'll see later on. I'm fast forwarding through a lot of this video because the gameplay is kind of slow. The developer of this game is a company called Rejected Games, SP. They are a mobile game developer. I don't know if this game's been out for mobile, I haven't looked that up. But the publisher is Playway. Playway is a company that's known for simulator games like Tank Simulator, the Home Simulator, the one where you can, fix up the house, clean it, sell it. House Flipper, that's the name. So a lot of these tedious games, and this one seems tedious, and the controls kind of stink. So in this game, it is a survival-based game. You do have stamina, health, and a sleep meter. Preparedness is your stamina, something I didn't really understand until way later in the game when I'm trying to refill it, and I couldn't figure out how to fill up my preparedness. To me, preparedness is not stamina. Preparedness is, how prepared you are for, stuff hitting the fan. So, not the case in this game. Core mechanic of the game is you collect resources, you survive, and you have to meet these monthly government inspections because you're on parole. You have this board in your room that is your escape plan. You add to it over time, and you have goals. Oddly enough, I have to look at my ultimate plan to figure out that goal 1 is to, my goal is to escape. I would think I would know this. It's a strange concept. Again, this game is clunky, but if you're into those Playway style games that are kind of grindy, and slow, this might be a game for you because it is slow. As you can see, I speed up the game a lot. Here we're back at 3x speed, and even then, it's not fast. So in a moment, we'll be catching up here to what I consider basically the core mechanic. You have to do house inspections. That whole process is not clearly identified at the beginning of the game, but once you know how it works, it's pretty simple. And it's one of those things where if you played the game for an hour and you restart, I don't know if you'll ever fail inspections. There are balancing acts you need to do. Another weird thing about this game is your mailbox. So the mailbox is how you shop. Instead of having your computer to buy, I don't know, glass or metal you need, you do it through your mailbox and the postman delivers it. I don't know, it seems weird. You can't do anything with the computer. And you click on the sign when you want to travel around. Nothing really too interesting about it. Early on in the game, your map is pretty blank, though this is your hometown, yet you know nothing about it.
Hey.
And what's a good survival game without going out into the woods to gather resources? So you can pick up these big honking trees. You can pick up some berries. You can hunt, trap. You can do a few different things out in the woods, but as you can tell, the side-scrolling, it's not very interesting. And I didn't know of any control that highlights everything in the environment you can pick up. So it is easy to kind of miss things. The 2.5D aspect, it works, but it just doesn't feel good. And it is like a dungeon system. So you have Forest 1-1, Forest 1-2, Forest 2-2. There's lots of different levels to it. One thing I also don't like about this game is the camera controls. The camera is very clunky. You can see I run out of screen sometimes. It doesn't stick to your character, and I don't know if there's a centering function to lock it back on. It just felt clunky. So there you saw me just breaking down logs for raw materials. Those will be used to craft our first thing, which is I think we need to build a ladder for our... Yeah, well, we don't need the wood yet, but we need that ladder to go down to the room we built in our basement. So I guess our house has no foundation. This doesn't make a ton of sense. They should put a foundation layer under this house or something. It's a little strange. The only thing that's under a house is some giant sewer pipes. Oh yeah. And even though your house has lamps and all kinds of stuff, you're not allowed to move them down in the basement. You could disassemble them and use the glass. So instead I have to craft up a light so that way I can have light in my basement. So the game is kind of built around, like, it reminds me of Fallout Shelter. Yeah, we did it. You know, promising these great, cool underground bases, but yeah, I don't think maybe I'm there yet. It's interesting, but if you notice in those pictures, the basements are way different than each other. One had basically nothing and had a giant rocket. The other had like a whole hydroponic system. So we'll jump forward to inspection day here. So get up, get some food. One thing I really don't like about this game is cooking and just crafting in general. There's no like acknowledged inventory and neighboring systems. Like if I put food in my refrigerator, I want my stovetop recipes to know I have those items, but it doesn't work that way. So the government employee here will walk through your property. He does random inspections, so it will change over time. The first time he just basically walks around to see what's out. Well, you're not allowed to have a workbench. Didn't know that one. I didn't know how to cover my my dungeon entrance, my basement entrance. And you can see me frantically trying to grab the rug and put it over. Just can't do it. Also forgot to turn around my escape plan. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's enough to get mad about that I have a basement and I have a dream board, but yeah, my suspicion level is 100% because of those 3 items. And this is the game over screen. So moving forward a little bit here, one of the key aspects they've shown so far in the game is collecting raw materials out in the woods. Now you will meet other characters along your journey who, from what I can tell, mostly are going to provide some recipes and access to other materials and tools that you'll need to progress through building your Fallout Shelter / rocket to shoot yourself to the moon. We know how that worked for the Flat Earther who built his own rocket, so I'm not hopeful for our hero here, but that's the plan. I don't know if that's like once you launch your rocket, is that just going to be like game over, you win? Because it's not like you're... I don't know where you think you're going with the rocket.
Huh?
So this lady's asking us, basically giving us our first quest, which is, hey, I have a cabin in the woods, but there's some angry wolves in the way. Can you take care of those for me? And of course, I have a baseball bat, and I'm going to go beat some wolves with the baseball bat. Sounds like a great plan. So here we go. Our first encounter with the wolves. There's a first combat counter period in the game. And combat in this game is not what I would call fun. It's not, I mean, I guess it's intuitive, you just click, but the whole like run around to dodge does not seem very feasible. And of course, no big surprise, it's not just one wolf. Now we have 3. It's interesting, your bat stuns them, so getting through these guys isn't too challenging. You can see my health going down when I get hit. You can eat food to restore health. Cooked food definitely is better than raw food, and food can spoil. But of course, not just 2 packs, we have 3 packs, and a big bad wolf. And the big bad wolf is owning my butt. So here you go, I'm just gonna grab some food, try to chow down, maybe re-engage, but this guy is hitting like a monster. And so I try to get away here. It looks like I haven't done to 1 hit, but I'm also 1 hit. So here's attempt number 2 on the wolves. I think we'll speed this one up because you've already seen how just dumb it is. Of note, I don't have much food here. I just have these prepared foods, and I don't think they're very good. I found these in a bunker, or a box in the woods. I'm also doing a lot worse this fight. See, I took a big hit there when these guys came out. I don't know if later in the game you can craft axes or any kind of better weapons. It seems like you could probably craft a gun at some point, because there are deer and things around that I would assume you can hunt.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
But weapons do break. So my gun broke here, or my bat broke. And yeah, I ran up and punched the wolf, realized, yeah, that's not going to work, and it's time to get out of there. So after 2 attempts of beating the wolves, I decided to go back to the bunker and check out the crafting a little more, see what more I can do. I built a big addition onto the bunker, added a lot of lights. Realized then that you do have a lighting or power limit. So one way to manage your power, which is something that the inspectors will look for, is turning off appliances in your main house, only using lights sometimes. So there is a balancing act. Here I'm just doing a quest to plant 5 plants underground so you can grow food. Again, the food, you're gonna have to have a huge food system to actually support yourself. And I don't know how you can make money other than selling stuff you collect. Like, I got some hides from the wolves I could sell. So overall, the economy seems not great. And while I was doing that, came time for another inspection. So I have to answer the door before the words turn red. I covered up my hatch. Everything looks good this time. At least I think. So this is when I learned there's variation. He checked my electric meter. I don't think he opens any cabinets, but he will open your cabinets. He may at some point start checking under rugs. I don't know. He checks your fuel usage. He checks your water usage. So he really does start poking around more and more as time goes on. So you have to definitely be careful. I don't know what you would be able to do if he does ever look under a rug. I mean, you're busted. I think you just are dead. This time, my water was fine. My power was borderline. I was close to failing. Also, you have essential items in your house you're not allowed to break down, like a bread box and a boom box, which I broke both those down for materials. So I didn't realize that would get me in trouble. It was not worth breaking them down, I would say. So here we go. I'm back in the woods, gathering up some materials, and we're going to try this for a 3rd time. This time, I think I'm ready. I got berries, and I got a bat, and I kind of understand how combat works. And as we're nearing the end of the video, you can probably guess that, yes, we do manage to beat the wolves. There's not a lot to say about this game. It's clunky. It feels like a mobile game that you're playing on a PC, but it feels like a mobile game I would never want to play. I like the idea of it. I think the name is poor. It doesn't strike me as a prepper. It strikes me as like fugitive man building a rocket in his basement because he's crazy. The whole setup is just a little clunky. Not a game I recommend holding out for unless you're really into this style of survival game. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.